record and will be uploaded to YouTube for participants and viewers from different time zones. We are having 4 speakers in this panel. They are from diverse backgrounds. Please join me to send our warmest welcome to the first speaker. So let's welcome Dr. Manson from the USA. So Dr. Manson, please.
Thank you so much. I am delighted to be here with you all discussing virtual exchange along with my collaborator in Honduras, Professor Brenna Woods. I work at Georgia State University, and Professor Woods is at Universidad Pedagogica Nacional Francisco Morazan in La Ceiba, Honduras. And we began working together almost a year ago, last August, on a project. We are both professors of English and were invited to join together to see what our students could accomplish and could learn from each other. Today, we're going to share with you all a little bit about the project that we implemented, the way we evaluated it. So we started our work together, like I said, almost a year ago. It was in the fall semester for both of us. And then we evaluated the project, decided what tweaks we could make, how we can make it better. With any project, the first run is not going to be the best one. It's the trial run. So we learned from that one, implemented some changes, and we'll share with you what our students accomplished through this project. So first of all, our participants. As I said, I teach English at Georgia State University, Perimeter College. My students are English composition students. They are in their very first semester of English writing classes. And then Professor Wood's students are students who are studying to be English teachers. And the first semester, they were in oral didactics. The second, they were in English didactics, but they range from third-year students. I believe the second semester, they were second-year students. And then there's a picture there. This collaboration has turned into the two of us being able to visit each other's universities. So I had the opportunity to travel to Honduras and there with some faculty. So our objective, we both wanted to enhance students' persuasive writing skills, critical thinking abilities. As we all know, those are essential for future leaders. We also wanted to give our students some instruction in professional writing. We understand that they have no problem communicating with each other via text message and comments online, but we have found that they don't always understand how to translate their writing skills to a professional capacity. And that's a skill that they're going to need. Email seems antiquated to a lot of our students, but that is still a method of communication for future leaders. So we wanted them to also practice their collaboration skills, because collaborating with someone in another country is also a global competency that is really important. And then finally, provide constructive feedback to each other, because that is a critical thinking skill that can be challenging for a lot of students. Okay, so our project structure. Before we got the project started, we needed our students to get to know each other. So we had a meet and greet. The first time we ran this program, it was via Zoom for all of us. We turned the camera on our students, had them prep some questions for each other so they weren't sitting there looking at each other awkwardly as the meeting began. We had the privilege of doing this in person with Professor Woods in the spring. She traveled to Atlanta, and there we are at my institution. And my students got to meet her in person, which was really cool. It set up the program nicely to see that this is not just someone in 2D on the screen, but this is an actual professor who could share with you a little bit about your university. And there she is with my students. The initial icebreaker we had for our students was a Padlet, and there's an image there in the bottom corner where they shared a traditional meal. In the spring, we tweaked that a little bit to a Valentine's Day meal just because of the timing. It was thematic for our students. That was our only icebreaker the first time we ran this program before we got students into the central project. And some of the feedback that we got from our students was that they wanted more interaction. They wanted to get to know each other a little better before they did the peer review. We were really excited about that. So we added a second icebreaker for them after the Padlet, where they saw each other's videos, they commented on each other's meals. Then we paired them up and they had a video chat. We gave them some prompt questions about each other's chosen career paths and why they chose that career, what that career looks like in their country, what they hope their job looks like in the future. So that allowed our students to get to know each other, to work in groups of 2 or 3 before they got into the main project. And now I'm going to hand the floor over to my partner, Professor Brenna Woods.
Thank you very much. Greetings to all. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's night here. And to continue with our project, what was the core of our COIL is first we started out with an orientation for students to understand what the project was about, the syllabus, and this was all in a synchronous session. We use Google Meet for this part of the synchronous activities. And one of the core moments in our project was drafting and peer reviewing our emails. So the idea here was for students to write, like Dr. Manson already said it. We were talking about writing professional emails where, sorry, GSU students were applying to a job or to a grant, and UPN students in the fall semester were applying to they were trying to convince or persuade their colleagues to implement a specific type of approach and method to teaching pronunciation. And in the case of the students in the spring, they were also applying to a job in teaching or a grant for a master's degree in foreign languages and so on. While they were doing the first draft, then they would send it to their peers in the United States or in Honduras, and then they would receive peer feedback on how to improve their emails. And finally, then they would send a final draft, and all of this work was totally asynchronous. So they would hold conversations, writing emails. And as Dr. Manson mentioned, it may seem as something simple and easy to do, but we found so many students that in their first drafts, they didn't even know how to title an email, where to write the title, how to greet, and simple structural basics of an email that you could say, hey, we know this, we do this every day. But since in their professional world, they're not yet connected to the professional world, they only chat, text. So this was really fulfilling to see these emails transform themselves. And they would copy Dr. Manson and myself in them. So we would witness this transformation. Next, we have the post-COIL. So once we finished, we made a final reflection in a synchronous meeting where students had to answer some questions on how to improve this experience and how to and tell us a little about how they felt about it before and after starting the COIL, what is something they learned, and amazingly, when we talked about what would they change or improvements, they would like, we want more interaction, we want to talk more, we want to speak more, we want to see each other more. So that's like Dr. Manson already mentioned, that's when we made the second cohort, and we decided to add the professional chat, and then students started working on it. And at the end of that also, they also said, we need more interaction. So students were really open to talk to each other and interact and share personal information, cultural information, but also professional information. And just to back it up, because we wouldn't have enough time for all the students to participate in the synchronous meeting, we also created a Padlet board where students would use a picture, an image, they will write a comment. They could also add a voice note, but most of them decided to add a picture and then a comment of what this experience really meant to them. So you can see some pictures there. In the end, our COIL was evaluated with 10% for their favorite video. Career conversation was 15% of their grade. The persuasive email, the first draft was 15%. Their peer review was 25%. the persuasive email or final draft was 25%, and then their participation in a final reflection of their grade. We would grade them separately. Dr. Manson would grade her students in iCollege, and I would do it through Moodle. And what was interesting about this evaluation is that students felt comfortable in giving and receiving peer review, which was the main goal here for our Honduran students, because it's not common in our culture to receive feedback from peers. And so for them, it was like a new experience. At the beginning, I had students tell me, look at this American, he's telling me that my email is not good. And so they would feel attacked in a way. But once they understood what it really meant to receive feedback, positive feedback, and critically feedback that would help them improve, then they started working towards it. This is some of the technology that we use. Like I said, Dr. Manson would evaluate and send the syllabus, the class syllabus and everything through iCollege, and I would do it through Moodle. We use for the icebreaker and final reflection Padlet, but also for the second icebreaker, we use WhatsApp and Zoom and our Gmail accounts to share our first peer reviews and final drafts, and then our synchronous meetings through Meet. So what are some of the positive outcomes that we got from this experience? Well, participating in an intercultural professional conversations. And did we say intercultural and professional? Because they would decide how to meet through WhatsApp, video chat, and we gave them a guide of questions that they should follow, but then they could decide if they wanted to take it in another sense, or maybe talk about more personal questions or more cultural ones, but they did have to complete like a 6-question guide in order to complete an assignment that was graded in this part of the COIL. Then they had to practice peer reviewing, like I already explained for Hondurans. This was a totally new experience. And so for them, it was really fulfilling to see that they gave feedback to someone that they considered a native speaker, that they saw that they also made mistakes, that they also had issues with writing emails, and that they could help them improve. And so I had students come up to me and say, as the teachers that they're going to be, I was able to help them with structure because it was like one whole paragraph. And so it's things that may show that this experience was really rewarding for both sides of students. Then also we talked about implementing the correct structure of professional emails. Recently, I've had some of my students send me emails for specific inquiries that they have about classes and all, and I have seen that they have maintained the structure of their emails, so that means that they really learned. And then establishing partnerships among professors for academic and um, educational initiatives. We started out in the fall semester. We have continued with Dr. Manson now, and we are here tonight, so you can see that these partnerships take you beyond just the COIL, but because we have met each in our countries, we have also gone beyond and sharing about our personal lives and so on. So we can see that these experiences are quite fulfilling for both students and teachers. And some of the challenges, well, always time availability for tasks because of time zones. Our students also, some of them work. The same happens with American students. They have different class schedules. So, but they always made it work. And then, like I already mentioned, students asking for more interaction for future projects. Oh, I want to talk more. I want to interact more. I want to get to know more people, because we had specific groups and they didn't get to interact with other students in other groups. So they asked for more. So as a conclusion, I would say that if you haven't tried COIL or any type of virtual exchange projects, I would encourage you to do it, because it really gives you a different perspective about the world. And like one of the keynote speakers said today, we may not have the opportunity to take all of our students on an exchange, but this is a way to take our classroom internationally. Thank you very much. I don't know if there's something else to add, Deborah.
Okay. So, do you have anything to add up, Dr. Manson?
No, that was an excellent sum up to our project, and I think it hit right at 14 minutes. So we stayed within our time frame as well.
Sure, thanks. So, thank you for the first presentation. So now, may I invite the second speaker, Dr. Doria, please?
Hello everybody, so nice to see so many people, and especially to see people from the University System of Georgia. What a wonderful thing that we are meeting in Hong Kong. This is trendy. This is super trendy. It's got to be awake because this is super trendy. Anyway, I have 15 minutes. I think I will do it in less than 15 minutes. I will try to do it in less. I will introduce myself. I am a principal senior lecturer in international business at the Sheikh McRobinson College of Business, Georgia State University in Atlanta. We belong to the University System of Georgia. What a wonderful thing to see so many people representing the system here in this meeting. Beautiful meeting, by the way. I was here last year, and you were here, I think, right? I think you were here, the same person.
Yeah, me
That talks
again.
very Yeah, that talks very good about the university. The people, they don't want to leave, they stay and they continue. That's very good, very, very good. We continue with the people too. By the way, I have been with Georgia State for something like 17 years. So yeah, we continue here. We are loyal here too. Anyway, I want to talk about two things. In international business, we do a lot of virtual exchange, I tell you. A lot of virtual exchange. It's at the core of our courses. And basically what we do is business projects, and the students in the US need to work with the students in other countries. I personally have been doing this for several years, I think more than 6 probably. And I work with many, many countries around the world. And now, everybody talks about the same. Everybody talks about artificial intelligence. This is wherever you go, the people, they are talking about artificial intelligence. And now, what I will show to you today is a couple of examples of the use of artificial intelligence in virtual exchange. To do something a little different, I did a presentation with artificial intelligence. So the voice is not my voice. So you will see that it's not my voice. It's artificial intelligence. A 4-minute presentation, 4.5-minute presentation. So the plan, if it's okay for you, is I show you the presentation, and after, if you have questions, you ask me, and game over. It's 15 minutes. Is that okay? Yeah, I like the smile. Some people are smiling. Other people look like they are laid there and they want to sleep. I like that. I like that. I like this. It's so nice. It's the like economy. It's a good book that is called The Like Economy. That's so nice. Funny. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, no, be smiling for people that is very late. Anyway, let me see if I can put the video. You will see the 2 examples. First example, we use artificial intelligence to make better teams in virtual exchange. You know how difficult it is to match the students. I don't know, the people you see, I see a lot of people saying yes there because it's a headache. It's even difficult to work with a team in your own classroom. Imagine when you mix 2-3 different classrooms in different countries and time zones. So we found some kind of technology to help us to create better teams. We ran the first pilot, and we plan to continue doing research to see if the results continue being positive. That's one thing. And the other thing, we like to organize discussions about the theory that we have in the classroom. And we are using a new technology of artificial intelligence that is, I love it. Is to foster critical thinking in large scale discussions. So in the pilot that we did, we put more than 100 students from all over, not all over there, India, Argentina, UK, and the US, all together discussing things together. It's beautiful. It works fantastic, and we plan to continue expanding. So let me see if I can show you the presentation, if I can share. In some way, I can share the video. I don't know if I will be able to do it. Do you see the screen? Do you see the screen? Yes, everybody say yes, and it's -9. Now I need to say how I make it work.
In this short presentation, we'll share 2 innovative ways.
Wait, do you hear the audio? Do you hear the audio or not? Yes, it works, everything works? Okay, this meeting is very good. Share? Okay. I'll put share sound too, just in case. Okay. So I go again.
We're using AI to enhance the virtual exchange experience for our students. First, we'll discuss how AI can help form more effective and cohesive student teams. Then, I'll introduce how AI supports critical thinking and collective intelligence in large-scale cross-border student discussions.
One of the challenges in virtual exchange is building effective teamwork among students from different cultures. These teams must navigate communication differences, manage varying levels of engagement, and collaborate successfully.
To manage this challenge, we created Click Teams. Click Teams are student groups for virtual exchange projects, formed with the help of AI to balance work styles, skills, and personalities, maximizing team efficiency and effectiveness.
The technology used to implement this solution was provided by UniHelper, a company specializing in AI-supported team formation designed to enhance performance and collaboration.
The process is simple. Students complete a brief questionnaire, and UniHelper's algorithm analyzes their responses to create optimal groups. The system primarily considers traits such as extroversion versus introversion and proactive versus reactive tendencies, organizing teams so that these differences become complementary strengths.
For our solution, we asked the UniHelper team to add a few extra questions to the original survey to help match potential future friends. Stronger social bonds were expected to encourage interaction beyond required tasks and promote a deeper understanding of cultural differences.
Click Teams was piloted with a small group of international business students, yielding positive results in terms of student satisfaction. We are now working on implementing the solution at a larger scale in future virtual exchange projects.
As mentioned earlier, the second innovation we'd like to share today focuses on leveraging AI to foster critical thinking and collective intelligence in virtual exchange projects. To bring this initiative to life, we partnered with Thinkscape, a leading platform for large-scale AI-supported discussions.
Large, globally distributed virtual exchange student groups are divided into small teams to discuss open-ended questions. Each team includes an AI agent that listens across all groups and shares divergent viewpoints generated by other student groups, not by AI, to spark critical thinking. A voting system then helps align perspectives, fostering collective intelligence.
The following video showcases our first project using Thinkscape's technology.
Now you can have deep conversations across borders, cultures, and time zones about what you learned in the classroom with hundreds of students like you.
In collaboration with Thinkscape, the AI platform empowering large groups to think deeper together.
A little over 10 years ago that I became very interested in the use of artificial intelligence, not to replace people, but to connect people together and make them smarter.
AI-powered conversations where every voice is heard, critical thinking runs deeper, and global consensus becomes possible. Welcome to the business students from Samila University in Argentina.
A warm welcome to the students from Queen's University Belfast in the UK.
As AI rolls out into work and education, I'm excited for my students to have the opportunity to experience it across cultures.
A special welcome to our alumni in the US and around the world joining this conversation.
Hello from India. Excited to be part of the conversational swarm intelligence discussions, a very futuristic way to get results from collective intelligence.
The Swarm Global Conversation, where students meet to think deeper together.
Don't miss it.
Thank you for your attention. We'd now like to open the floor for questions.
I tell you, I love the voice of this lady that talks. I don't want to hear mine. I don't want to hear mine anymore. I don't want to hear mine anymore. Anyway, that's all. I think we are in time, right? So that's all. I don't know if you have questions.
We're
I have.
gonna have a discussion section after all the presentations.
Okay.
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 Yeah. So thank you so much for your inspiration. So may I now invite the third speaker, Professor Jiménez. Yeah. So may I now invite again Professor Jiménez Figarotti from Venezuela.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, great. Okay, my name is José Luis Jiménez-Figarotti. I am talking right now from Venezuela, and I am COIL coordinator of the Andrés Bello Catholic University, but also I have been doing COIL for 7 years, and I teach 2 courses at the university. One is Transmedia Journalism, and the other one is Documentary. And in those courses, I combine emerging technologies with human rights, and that's what I'm going to be presenting today. So this is the agenda. I'm going to give a brief introduction on what transmedia literacy is, human rights, and then I'm going to talk about the background of the project, the structure, the results, and the conclusions. As in the video, the previous video, we are very in line. My course, as I mentioned, is transmedia journalism, and I work with students as collective intelligence in order to help society use technologies for the benefit of society, of human rights. And that's what I'm going to be focusing today, putting together brains in order to find solutions and actually have an agency and that transforms society through collaboration. That's the focus of this presentation. I'm going to use an example that a blended intensive program that I did in May with Germany between Venezuelan students, the transmedia journalism students with computer science students, how those brains got together and find solutions for human rights. So the term collective intelligence was already mentioned with Professor Doria, and I'm gonna kind of um, uh, go deeper in the sense of use for social benefit. What is transmedia literacy? Is the ability to understand and create stories that unfold across multiple emerging media platforms. And again, the focus is to promote social change and civic engagement. And the idea is to use an ecology of mediums, digital mediums, in order to create these stories to impact society. And all the projects that are done through this project are open-ended, they put them out in the mediums, in social media, in blogs, in YouTube, in order to engage with society and teach society. And the picture you see there is the project, that the blended intensive program. For those of you who don't know what blended intensive program is, a type of COIL or virtual exchange where you previously meet online and you have a week or 2 weeks in the ground. In this case, we went to Germany. My students went to Germany, and the students meet each other, and they create the projects, and then they keep working online. So that's blended intensive programs. Mixing in person with online connections. Okay, and the human rights, the basic or the starting point in these projects is going to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of the United Nations. They have to study the declaration and find different articles, and then they will create like a media strategy or communication strategy using, in this case, we use artificial intelligence. And in this case, in Germany, we were working with indigenous communities in the Amazon. And we had the chance to connect directly through Starlink. We had an antenna, Starlink antenna, in an indigenous community in the Amazon basin in Venezuela, and they were communicating with us in Germany, and they were talking about their problems with the mining, illegal mining, the destruction of the forest. So they engaged the indigenous youth, because they were young leaders, were talking to German students and Venezuelan students online to find solutions. So we integrated indigenous communities to the discussion, and we listened to them, and they proposed. They were the leaders. They were the ones who wanted to find solutions for their communities, like the illegal mining, deforestation, loss of their languages, and how to use artificial intelligence to solve those problems. So that's how we do the collective intelligence. Students from Venezuela, students from Germany, and indigenous communities in the Amazon. So again, I already mentioned I want to go fast. So I want to cover all the content, but it is the rise of emerging technologies, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, how we integrate all those emerging technologies to find solutions for human rights. Again, in this case, with indigenous communities in the Amazon. And the importance of this blended intensive program is to teach students to use those technologies. And the fascinating case that I'm presenting, my students of journalism, they knew the social problems, and the students in Germany were computer science students, so they were combining their disciplines and their knowledges with technologies to find those solutions. Again, this program that I have been doing for 7 years, I have worked with South Africa, with Mexico, with different countries. And I decided to call it CATHER, Collective Action on Transmedia and Human Rights. And one of the things is because I have been doing my PhD research on this, and the impact on agency is what I'm focusing my PhD. Is COIL And these programs are really creating agency, and are they impacting society? And one of the things that I have found, especially in Venezuela, living with social political problems and human crisis, is that students that do these programs, they feel that there is a catharsis for them. So I decided to call it Cathar, as catharsis, collective action on transmedia and human rights, because they're struggling with the socio-political situation in the country. However, when they feel that they can solve problems, and that it's in their hands, they have agency, then they heal. They feel that they're healing, that they are transforming themselves. So that's the reason of call it cathar. And we use the Bloom's taxonomy. We start with the Declaration of Human Rights. They read the declaration. They find articles in that declaration that that are similar to the Sustainable Development Goals, like in the case of the indigenous rights. And from there, they start building each week or each stage. They go more complex until they create a product. Like in this case, they created like artificial intelligence for language, indigenous language, or for tracing deforestation in the forest, or tracing the illegal mining. And those were the products that the students created. And again, this is a little bit this interaction, especially like, for example, students that are in the STEM disciplines like computer science, and the first time they start studying like social problems, so that it increases their understanding on diversity, equity, and inclusion. They use the transmedia literacy skills and emerging technologies to promote social change, and they develop a deeper sense of civic engagement and collaborating with others. And the conclusion is that the use of emerging technologies such artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and augmented reality has the potential to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion in virtual exchange programs. Transmedia literacy is essential for students to be able to participate effectively in virtual exchange environments, and virtual exchange courses that use transmedia literacy techniques can be effective in promoting diversity, as I mentioned before. I think I am in time, right? Or
Yeah, it's perfect. Thank you, Professor Figarotti. Thank you for your presentation. So now may I invite the last speaker of the section, Ms. Sosic, please.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Actually, it's three of us in our group. This is Dr. Sarah Wagner, and also she is, yeah, you can just raise the hand, Sarah. And also the second colleague in my team is Miss Laura Counter. She also is, if she can be note as a speaker, so we can share the screen, please. Thank you so much. Sarah, would you like to share our presentation? Or Laura? Okay, thank you. Esteemed colleagues, welcome to our presentation on transformative influence of digital tools in collaborative online international learning. So our theme is pedagogical innovation, ethical reflections, and global collaboration. And we try to emphasize the vital role of technology in enhancing educational practices while promoting these ethical communications. So let us get engaged by introducing our team. Sarah?
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Samila. My name is Sarah Wagner. I'm a professor of language and culture in the Universidad de Rosario in Colombia. Laura, would you like to introduce?
Laura,
Hi,
please.
everyone. My name is Laura Counter, and I work as a COIL coordinator and international mobility specialist at UNA in Honduras.
And my name is Samila Sosic, and I serve as Executive Director of International Education at Miami-Dade College in Miami, Florida.
So just to start off, just to tell you what's our objective today, I just wrote on the chat that we want you to have your phones ready because that's one of the of our very dynamic thing we're going to do. And the objective is to empower COIL educators to expand their repertoire of free phone accessible AI tools to enhance their COIL endeavors. So we want to share with you some things we have found very practical in our COIL get-togethers and our COIL professors get-togethers in our universities, and work a little bit with you around this.
Okay, Sarah.
Great. I think, Laura, you have to stop sharing your screen so that, there we go. Perfect. All right, everybody. So, actually, we're really interested, a show of hands or a reaction. How many of you have done Kahoots before? All right, so we're seeing some hands go up. People, others, reactions. Feel free to do a thumbs up, a heart, smiley face. All right, great. So we're getting more reactions. Terrific. Well, if you haven't done Kahoots, they're a lot of fun. And this session is going to be super interactive. It's one of our goals. So here we are. Give me just 1 second. We're going to load this up. All right. All right, everyone. So as Laura mentioned, if you could get your phones out, we'd love you to participate in this. You'll see a QR code on the screen. So go ahead, use your phone to scan that QR code. And the Kahoot will ask you to give a name. So you're welcome to use your real name. You're welcome to use a fictitious name, get creative, whatever you'd like to do. All right, got 25 people in this session, so it'd be great to get almost everybody participating. Shoot for like 20 people, that would be awesome. All right, well, as we're waiting for more people to join, a Kahoot is based on both speed and accuracy. So a question will pop up on the screen. I'm going to read the question as you read it as well. And then we'll read the 4 different multiple choice answers. And on your phones, you'll have to select by touching the multiple choice answer that's correct, you believe to be correct. So again, based on both speed and accuracy. So we'll see who comes up. They always give us a podium, right? Honoring who's both fast and accurate in this game. So we've got 12 people. Gabby, absolutely. Yes, we're all in the same boat. It's 11 here. I think Samila takes the cake. She's about to chime midnight in Miami. So all right, it looks like we've hit a good equilibrium with 12. That's a great number to play with. All right, so going once, going twice, going 3 times. We're gonna start. All right, everyone. Here's our Kahoots. Digital tools for COIL. Which mobile AI tool helps students identify objects, translate text, and gather research just by taking photos? Option 1, Google Lens. Option 2, Microsoft Edge. Option 3, Evernote. Or option 4, Zoom. So again, speed and accuracy. Look at that. All right. Samila, any comments for us? You're on mute, Samila, by the way. Oh, Samila, you're still on mute.
Sorry, I wanted to give you podium completely. So while we are waiting for those answers, let me give you some little intro into the Google Lens. So the emergence of Google Lens signifies Okay, advancement in visual search technology empowering users to explore and identify objects through images. A key advantage of Google Lens is its ability to analyze images by comparing objects against an extensive repository of other objects, ranking results based on relevance and similarity. This analytic approach broadens the information available, enriching users' experiences. So this is really a great tool. And do we have results here?
We
Wonderful,
do.
Sarah, take over.
The entire group correctly guessed. Google Lens. Excellent. All right, let's move on to our next question. Oh, first we get to see our podium. All right, Sam is in the lead, followed by Brenna, and Gabby's bringing up third place. Okay, everyone, question number 2. We have 8 questions, so we're gonna fly through these. And then we'll give you a handout summarizing everything. All right, question number 2, here we go. Which AI tool can be used to break down language barriers in international student communication? DeepL, Canva, ChatGPT, or Loom? All right, 4 people have weighed in, 6, 7, 8. We've got a really fast group. We're giving you 20 seconds for each question. Starting to think that was very generous. All right, here we go. So 9 people weighed in with DeepL. Laura, would you like to talk about this tool?
Yes, well, DeepL is a powerful AI translator that helps students overcome language barriers in COIL projects. It offers accurate natural translations that students can use to write emails, translate reflections, or co-edit documents. It's perfect for fostering real intercultural dialogue, especially in teams where English isn't everyone's first language.
All right, terrific. Great. Let's see how we ended up on our podium. Brenna's taken the lead, followed by Gabby, and Polo is in third place. All right, everyone, moving on to question 3. What visual collaboration tool allows COIL teams to co-create diagrams, mind maps, and flowcharts in real time? We've got Trello, Lucid, PicoChart, or Zoom. And here we go. So Lucid is the correct answer. If you aren't familiar with Lucid, imagine taking your in-person classroom with all those beautiful whiteboards surrounding your walls in your room, and then taking that and moving that into a digital environment. And so lots of space for this digital whiteboard and lots of great templates for students to build out mind mapping exercises, diagramming, etc., etc. And best of all, it's free. All right, podium time. Let's see. All right, so Brenna and Gabby are holding first and second place, and Sam has taken third place. All right, everyone. Do you want to keep us moving in the interest of time? So question number 4, what free AI tool helps students summarize academic articles quickly? All right, we've got our 4 options on the board. See where people weigh in with it. All right, so we are very familiar with this. Samila, do you like to talk to us about this?
See, in the fast-paced world of academia, students often struggle to manage the overwhelming numbers of research articles. So here is the app that simplifies this task, transforming it into structured, real experience. This innovative tool allows students to effortlessly summarize any article and quickly extract key points from related articles. The app enhances understanding of complex research by offering insights into the paper's ranking across various indicators, enabling confident source assessment. And it highlights essential point with long text, providing the necessary context for grasping intricate arguments.
All right, terrific. Great overview. All right, so Brenna and Gabby again holding first and second place, and Polo has reclaimed third place. Moving into question number 5, we are halfway there. How can Mito, a digital whiteboard with AI suggestions, support COIL teams? So offering quizzes, helping with brainstorming and project planning, calculating grades, or translating text. 9 people already weighed in. 3 more making some key decisions. And here we go. Laura, would you like to talk about this?
Yes, well, Miro, we don't know how the exact name is, but it's a collaborative digital whiteboard where COIL teams can brainstorm, they can plan and organize idea visually. Students can map out projects, compare cultural perspectives, and build timelines or flowcharts together, whether it's live or asynchronously. It helps make international teamwork more interactive, visual, and engaging for everyone involved.
Excellent. All right. Let's see how our podium ended up. So, Venus, all right. Welcome to slot number 3 on our podium. Terrific. Question number 6. Which free AI-supported tool helps students create infographics, reports, and presentations collaboratively? Canva, Venage, Pictochart, or Prezi? Right. 4 options. 10 people have weighed in. And there are 8 seconds on the clock. Here we go. All right. Laura, would you like to talk about this one?
This one says Pictochart, but I think it's
Pictochart.
Canva.
My apologies. Yeah, I'm happy to take this one. Yes. Go Pictochart. This is the correct answer. So this is perhaps some uncharted territory for people. Right? Pictochart is a really cool digital tool. I've used this with my students, who many of them are emerging bilinguals, and I have prefaced the actual COIL interaction with classrooms in the United States. So I teach in Colombia, by doing an activity where students enrich and develop their vocabulary. So as we all know, any IA tool is the output is only as good as the input, right? That we are feeding that IA tool. And so really using this as an opportunity to position students to kick their language level up. That's a great way to preface your COIL activity. And of course, the actual infographics and images and graphics that Pictochart generates are stellar. So, and it's free. Always good. All right, so we shouldn't see a lot of movement in our podium. Here we go. Number 7, which AI tool can help generate visually engaging presentations in COIL projects? All right. Ah, this looks familiar. Laura, floor is yours.
Yeah, so that one was a tricky question, but yeah, I think most of us know what Canva and have used Canva once in our lifetime. So it's a free design tool where students can create posters, infographics, presentations together. No design experience is needed, and it's perfect for building shared visual content like bilingual campaigns or global issues slideshows. It's easy to use, works on phones, and lets teams collaborate in real time, making creativity across cultures both fun and accessible.
All right, let's see how things have turned out. Brenna's solidified their lead. Excellent. All right, everyone, last question. All right, for the win. How can AI help assess cultural perspectives in international student projects? 4 options: suggesting diverse viewpoints, checking for bias, by replacing cultural exchange, focusing on only one country, or skipping discussions. And yes, that is the correct answer, by suggesting diverse viewpoints and checking for bias. Again, the outputs are only as good as our inputs. All right, let's see. We've got our final showing on the podium. In place 3, oosh, a newcomer. Excellent. Ness. Terrific. Welcome, Brenna. Number 2. And in first place, we have Gabby. Yay! All right. Terrific.
Congratulations to everyone. So for those interested in resources mentioned today, we have compiled them into a comprehensive PDF file. This document includes additional material to enhance your COIL practices. And we had more than actually we shared today. Those are one that we shared, but we had more. We'll be sharing this PDF in chat box shortly, and we encourage you to explore these resources and integrate them into your next COIL experience.
So just to finish off, just some final reflections. As a first one, from access to impact, digital tools actually and AI aren't just about convenience, they're bridges to more inclusive, creative, and meaningful collaborations across borders.
And for the second one, empowering learners as co-creators in virtual exchange, COILS goes beyond the mere instructional methods, and it embodies a transformative mindset of co-creators and co-creations. By attaching COIL to our courses, we empower students to actively engage in their educational journals. The benefits of students include, for students includes enhanced critical thinking, improved communication skills, and increased cultural awareness, among all others that has been already mentioned in previous presentation. So the integration of AI tools is crucial in this process, enable learners to engage interactively with content, just like we just did, and collaborate across borders and contribute to the creation of knowledge. Sarah?
Okay. And last but certainly not least, ethics, right? The all-important subject of ethics. So how do we use AI ethically and critically? With great power comes great responsibility. We must guide students in ethical use, verifying information, avoiding bias, and of course, respecting privacy and authorship. So everyone, that concludes our presentation. Hopefully we have planted some seeds with all of you. You have some good ideas, good tips to integrate some new digital tools into your COIL collaborations. We have dropped the handout into the chat function, so we encourage you to go ahead and download that, keep that. It has all the hyperlinks to the different tools. We were very explicit in terms of choosing exclusively tools that were first and foremost free, but also that were phone accessible, so as to be fair to all of our students. So again, thank you so much, and we'll turn it back over to our moderator.
So thank you so much for the insightful presentation. So now we are opening the floor for the discussion around for a few minutes. Please feel free to share your questions. If you would like to ask your question directly, kindly raise your virtual hand by clicking the hand icon. Alternatively, you can type your questions in the chat, and I'll ensure our panelists address them. Yes, Gabby, please.
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you all for your wonderful presentations. I'm happy to see some of my friends here. And also, I would like to go back to Professor Evaristo's presentation. I really like your presentation. And also, for what I understand, the AI learn from the conversations the students are having. And then the tools help us to arrange the different teams. But is there or have you run into some situations where participants or students don't participate? And in this case, how the tool learn from them? Or do you have any other like activities for them to contribute and participate so the tool can learn and also assign them to a specific team?
Yeah, that's a good question, Gabriel. I like your question. So nice question. And look, it's right now here is midnight, 13 minutes past midnight. I'm still happy with your question. This is amazing, yeah. But where are you based, Gabriela? Where are you based?
I'm in Mexico, but actually I was in Atlanta like 2 weeks ago. I spent some time there.
Oh, okay. Next time you come, huh? You visit me next time. Anyway, answering your question, yeah, the system, it works very well. We ran it one time with about 120 students, something like that. Not only, the students are divided in small groups of 5, 6 students. And after the questions appear, you give the questions to the system. And all the students, in a synchronic way, they start to discuss. The AI is listening and it's going with, especially with divergent point of view from other teams to your team, to fostering critical discussion and critical thinking. But also, and that's the reason why I like your question, also the system, if you notice that you are quiet, and you are not participating, push you. Look, what do you think? What do you think? The system sends message to you. I was also participating as an student to live the complete experience. And yeah, the system, I tell you, is very well designed. I think it was the first time that was used in a university cross-border virtual exchange initiative, but I see a lot of potential. Personally, I see a lot of potential. We are thinking about expanding this much bigger. Thank you, Gabriela. Thank you, Gabriela, for the question. And next time that you come to Atlanta, if you don't visit me, I won't be unhappy, very unhappy, very unhappy. So looking forward to see you.
I will let you know. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for your insights. Now let's check if there are any additional questions from the audience. All right, it seems all of us are good for this section. So as we are approaching the end of our session, I would like to take a moment to thank each of our panelists for sharing their infallible insights and experience with us today. I appreciate everyone's participation and I hope you enjoy the upcoming sections of the summit.